back on Narwhal for everybody. But before we do that, we're going to introduce all our characters. Let us start with everybody here. Our introductions. And I think we still have one camera that's not showing for some reason. At least not Discord.
Oh, well, I have everyone here, so.
Okay. I don't know why it's Justin's
Just
camera.
click, just click one of the cameras and click it again. It'll show back up for you.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, there we are. Okay. So, let's begin with Justin. Introduce your character, ideals, flaws, etc.
Absolutely. I am Justin, and I am playing Hugh. I am a lovely kobold ranger. Thinking is for other people, not me. No one deserves preferential treatment before the law. And I'm convinced that I have a significance in my destiny that is incredible. And will do anything to get there.
Interesting. Theta, you like to introduce your character?
Yeah, I'm Zigzag, rock gnome artificer. My personality traits are I'm well known for my work, and I want to make sure everyone appreciates it. I'm always taken aback when people haven't heard of me. My ideal is I work hard to be the best there is at my craft. My bond is one day I'll return to my guild and prove that I am the greatest person of all time. My flaw is I am never satisfied with what I have. I always want more.
Next up, we have Kicks the Shield.
Hey, everybody, I'm Griffin. I'm playing Kicks the Shield, the Battlemaster folk hero Dragonborn. He's a cool and calculating person who believes a hero stands up against all challenges. Those under my command responsibility come first, and I have an immense ego and delusions of grandeur.
Move on next to, shall we say, Hugh?
We did Hugh.
Oh, we did Hugh. Of course we did. Barakat, I believe.
I'm playing Barakat, the Eloquence Bard. I think flattery is the best way to direct attention away from me. I like seeing the smiles on people's faces when I perform. My instrument is my most treasured possession. And I'm having issues with my identity.
And so last but certainly not least, we have been very contrarian up to this point, but we can be more agreeable moving forward. Wraith, played by Robert. Go ahead.
For the record, I don't take any conversations about games that seriously. I'm playing Wraith the Butcher. I'm honest to a fault and resolute. My ideals are to strive for truth and provide hope in a cruel world. My faith guides my conscience, even when in doubt. And I am known as the Butcher to many, and I wear that name with a distinction, and I am somewhat prejudiced to my enemies.
So last time, our party were exploring the Borderlands here with the Orcish Empire. Found a glowing rock that came alive and attacked them and nearly killed them, and also saved a party of kobolds and dwarves who were transporting iron ore back to Narwhal. Now they are back in Narwhal and have their new shiny rock. They discovered that the pieces that that this creature was made of are made of star metal, or cold iron. That comes from the deep space, the flageton of deep space, and it could craft one or multiple magical items. So I think this is a perfect time if the players choose to engage. So in downtime, we haven't really have a lot of downtime since it's a lot of forays into the wilderness. So it doesn't have to take a lot of time, and not everybody has to participate. Not everybody's obligated to do downtime, of course. But it's a good time to get a lay of the land in Narwhal, explore or try to get items, etc. Do a little bit of shopping. Decide if you're going to spend the time to craft magical items now or later, and do some planning for the future.
How much downtime are we looking at?
As much as you're willing to take. I mean,
half a year.
Well, if you take half a year, think. This is one about downtime. Right? Downtime does not mean that the world pauses.
That doesn't have to pause.
Yeah.
Half a year later, I'll be ready for them to knock on my door.
Well, yeah, that's yeah,
Great
that
company for me. Someday I gotta knock on my door.
Oh my-
Waiting for you.
That's
So
a reference.
let's say between a week and no more than a month. Depending on what you guys are gonna do.
My joke is actually twofold: is that I need 15 weeks to finish crafting plate mail. So,
15 with 4, 8, 12.
but it only takes one.
3.5 months, basically.
Yeah,
Give or take.
that's how long it'll take me to craft that star metal into plate mail. Although, I mean, I can do the first week making that weapon for Braith. Was it?
Yes.
Yeah, the first week making the weapon for you, and since it takes less than a week to make that, I can also get the first week of the plate mail in at the same time.
Mhm.
So if we do at least 1 week of downtime, I can at least get you that weapon, which then you can take to the. I'm doing air quotes for those I'm listening on podcast wizard to then enchant it with whatever he needs to do.
Mhm.
Well, I believe the enchanting was part of the process of making it.
Well, if you want to go down during your downtime to drag the, again, air quotes, wizard to the forge so he can enchant it, that's up to you.
Yeah.
All I can do is make it.
Is that how we got to do it? We got to go get the wizard.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did you want to forge this thing in the fun house that is his home?
I don't even want to go back to that fun house, to be fair. Braith, honestly, besides I guess Braith would probably go fetch the wizard just to bring him back about maybe commissioning him to enchant that. In the downtime, other than doing that, he would likely be praying, practicing, giving some, writing letters to dead soldiers, and maybe working with the guards and training them here or there.
You need 4 dead soldiers?
Dead soldiers that I remember.
Right. I'm just saying, you're saying 2 dead soldiers. You mean 4 dead soldiers?
Yes, I should have said 4 dead soldiers. Thank you, Journeyman Zag.
Is that what we
Uh,
agreed to call me?
Yes, because
I
you.
know it wasn't master. Yeah, I guess journeyman is correct.
I think also somebody wanted to visit a temple, I believe. Hugh, right?
Yes. Hugh would like to go visit this temple where she could talk to someone who knows about Alona.
So we're gonna do that. And somebody also wanted to do some research on a missing master musician, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Barakat would definitely go around now with the new idea to look for recent songs made by or about him, and also performing his own.
Okay. And also, I believe Kix was interested in more potions and elixirs.
Yeah,
for
and
the
I had
party.
a talk last time for that, so that could be something I'm doing in my downtime.
Yeah. So the talk was that any potions and elixirs that you brought, she was going to give you 50% off for common and uncommon potions and elixirs, and anything beyond that, you would, in order for discount to kick in, you have to bring in the
Right.
ingredients.
And looking at like what a potion of speed costs, which is in the thousands, discount on that is, well, I'm still kind of poor.
Yeah.
It's that or plate mails.
Right, but I thought
So-
the thing was that you were also skilled at the forge, so you could literally start your own plate mail project as well.
Right, so I could definitely go ahead and just say, get started on that. And
Although
use
the
some of my
thing
time this
about
week.
that is that it costs half, I think, was it, the cost of resources?
Mhm.
And that would mean, what, 750?
Right, which also is still outside of my reach. I could at least put time in on it, even if I don't have the full money for everything.
I think let's do it this way. You don't have the full money, but you can start paying it down.
Yeah.
How much is a breastplate?
Breastplate is 400. It's also medium armor. I'm currently have
I'm just saying that
chainmail.
a breastplate is technically part of plate mail, so you
Mhm.
can make the breastplate, take that off of the cost of plate mail once you're done that, and then use that new cost as plate mail whenever you start actually making plate mail. So literally just I have the chest piece. now when I get the money, I'm gonna make the arms and the legs and everything.
Yeah,
Mhm.
things like that.
Because
Yeah.
you'll just incrementally work your way there. But the breastplate, I think, is the only one that's literally in the book that you could use as a part way.
Yeah, that actually makes perfect sense. Yes, I'll allow it. Makes good. That's a good approach.
Yeah.
Also, because you probably will be using the Firebeard's forge. Essentially, you can say I paid. I basically make a down payment to her, for using her materials and all that, and her resources, and so you don't have to pay it all at once.
Okay,
So you
so I can go
pay
ahead
as
and
you
just
go.
put the tab on it, and when I get money in, I'll put the money in. But I'll put in the work
Yeah.
now.
In fact, she can say to you that when the mine becomes profitable, they promise you some payments.
Mhm.
So perhaps you can say, well, your part of that payment could go to finish this as well, and we call it even.
Could I help with this?
Yes, you could.
Absolutely.
Technically, I am a well-known craftsman amongst the dwarves, essentially due to my background. But I mean,
Mhm.
also because I am a well-accomplished, well-known craftsman. That any dwarf in the area is literally fighting one another to like house me and give me a place to work. So can I leverage that to then aid
Oh,
Kix?
definitely. Yeah. In
Like,
fact,
I will. Your forge is my favorite on the Citadel. Like, I will advertise your forge as I work there if you allow Kix this space to work as well.
yeah, she has no problem with that at all.
Okay.
In fact, she would be honored to have both of you working there. So let's start with that part. Okay, are you going to be using part of the star metal, or this is just regular breastplate and
Well, I'm the one
Uh,
using the star metal.
for the weapon? Remember,
Well,
you
no,
can
I'm
use.
using it. Remember, I'm making my own armor with the metal, and since I'm such a small creature, that gives me enough left over to also make a weapon for
Okay.
Braith.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm making non-magical.
Braith doesn't. In fact, because of two of you, especially you're a journeyman, but basically you have a great reputation. You could make up, with the help of Firebraid, the Firebraid clan, make a masterwork armor. It doesn't give you a plus to armor per se, unlike a weapon has a +1 to hit. But when it's making saving throws for items and all that, it has a +1. It's more resilient and also more showy. Has more detail. It's
Well, the thing is
basic.
that I'm also a armor artificer, which means that I can imbue it with properties along the way that I can also change out here and there. So
Okay.
I am more proficient in it than, say, the wizard giving it enchantments, which is why I believe that we agreed it was better to give it to me. Also, the fact that I'm so small that I can also give somebody else something with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but the thing is, right now you could probably just make with the weapon, and using the magical metal, a +1 weapon. The wizard probably will be able to give him a permanent, non-changing extra ability.
No, that's why we proffered that he should probably go get the wizard so that when I finish, the wizard will be here to enchant it.
Yes. So yeah, Braith, you don't have to go fetch him. You can find someone because he lives nearby. He basically lives in the next X over.
Yeah.
So
5
that
hours.
wouldn't.
It's 5
Yeah,
hours.
about 4 or 5 hours. So somebody can just.
Oh,
fetch him.
10-hour round trip, really, if you put it that term.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't mind like doing that. In fact, it gives me a chance to clear my head if need be, gather thoughts, say prayers as I walk, etc. All that kind of stuff. So I would, take the road. I wouldn't even like deviate, from the safety of the roads if there is any. And just head out to where the tower was and hope to God it's not a fun house inside today.
Are you going by yourself, or anybody's going with you?
I mean, if people wish to accompany me, that's perfectly fine.
Well, I'm gonna get
Okay.
started on my work in the forge, but I mean, it's just an old man. You can talk to an old man, Braith.
Are you
So yeah,
scared of him or something?
Master Q, the last time we visited this wizard, his tower was open and contained portals to various realms. That forced us to basically slaughter a bunch of orcs and undead and hellhounds and other creatures.
I'm
Before we
there.
could even well, no, we did it already. They're already dead. It's just it was like a labyrinth of insanity. Is the best I can describe it.
Could it happen again?
Possibly.
No.
I'm there.
If
Remember,
you wish to,
he said
go
that
with
if he does it again, he has to be in a place that he makes specifically for it.
oh,
So,
that's
and
true.
I
That's
think
true.
that's something he also said he was working on, like he has a customer lined up or something.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll double check with him. But if you wish to accompany, please do not. By all means, I will share the road.
So Hugh and
Absolutely.
Brave head out. Halfway through the journey, you find an older man, basically by the side of the road on a mile marker. Mile markers are basically just sort of piles of stones that are there, and he seems to be sort of uttering a prayer. So let me see if I can find the deity of the roads.
I rolled I wanted to roll a religion check to understand the prayer, but I got a 5. So
Let me see. Yeah. He's wearing brown brown tunic and slacks, and has a basically a walking stick that probably could double as a defensive weapon if we were to need it. He seems to be in his 60 years or so, give or take. Um, and you see he has around his neck a dangling from a basically a cord, a round, a wooden thimble of some kind, which is divided in by half, or sort of a half moon, uh, sort of a line, and then on top of that seems to be another sort of seems like a half moon as well. Um, and he seems to be saying some prayers, and he gets up and he's like, "Oh, well, okay." And he has a bag with him, sort of heavy bag, and it's like, "Oh, oh, I didn't see you there. Ah, may Fallaghan light your travels, good sir." And he sort of stares at you, and he kind of does the thing where he squints and kneels down. I mean, he is actually relatively tall, like 6'1", 6'2". He kind of looks at your holy symbol, saying, "Oh, follower of the mighty cord, I see."
Well met, good sir. Pray tell, you okay?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm just making sure that the mile marker is in fine shape. And, well, if hmm, if you don't mind, and you see that against the mile marker, there's he laid out a basically a shovel. I'm getting on my years, so would you be too so be kind as to help me out with a bit of a thing I have to do before I carry on?
I do not. How am I going to say this? I don't mind helping you with the task. What is it that you wish accomplished?
Oh, he grabs the bag, and you hear like a click, like a something inside the bag, like all these. I'm sure that this might seem a bit odd, but I need to put my good friend here to rest.
I don't look inside the bag. What you said is like clicking sounds. Like was it like ashes or something in there, or
More like like stones or bones clicking together.
ah? Is Hugh with me?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yes.
I am
I
there. I am
okay,
just staying back and listening at the moment.
okay,
And
just check.
riding webfoot as well.
Yes. I assume I don't recognize the religion with the 5 that I rolled.
No, it's,
Okay. I say yes. I know that understandable as well. Your name, sir?
Duncan, sir. Miss
Well,
Duncan.
Duncan, Master Duncan. You may call me.
Just Duncan. Just haven't been a master of anything for a very long time. Haven't had a pupil in a while. Maybe a decade or so.
Understandable, sir. You may call me Braith, and this is my associate, Master Hugh.
He gets close, and you can see he almost puts his neck near the pincers of Webfoot. It was like, and also like starts clicking. He's like, "Are you a kobold for any reason, my good sir?"
I am. I
That's
am a kobold named Hugh. Pleasure to
Ah.
meet you, Simply Duncan.
and he sort of shakes his hands, like, and he kind of pats Webfoot. Is like, the way you try to pat an old man pats a silent man, a dog that is too excited to actually bite the handle. It's like not growling, but more like trying to playful, like Webfoot try to bite the hand. It's like, yes, of course, bite it. Well, if you don't mind, and he sort of points, and there's a little bit of a glade nearby, like a little bit of a group of cups or corpse of trees. What is it, cups? And it says there used to be an old road that the old road used to cut through there, but over time it gets rebuilt and such. So I wish to bury my good friend here, where the old road used to be.
May I roll an insight on him real quick on this?
You may.
Jesus. That's a 6.
Aside from the fact that it's an odd thing to have a man walking around with a bag of bones. Yeah, he seems to be truthful, straightforward. A bit odd, but probably his age.
I mean,
can I roll history to see if this is a common thing?
Which thing are you rolling for?
The road and the burial in relation to where a road was?
No, that would be religion.
Okay.
The history would
Either
tell
way,
you
it's a
whether or not there was
-1.
an old road or not. Religion would tell you about
Got it.
burials. You do recognize the symbol. It's a human deity. The dogs are barking now. Called Farligan, who is the deity of roads and travel. But why would he be carrying a bag of bones? You have no idea.
I think this is just a strange ritual of the Farhooligan,
No. It's Farligan. Yes. It's just kind of hard to pronounce sometimes. Yes.
That's not what I remember, but I'll go with it.
Yeah.
I'll go with it.
So, if you don't mind, and he sort of
Farligan.
points. Yeah, he points into, and you go away, and it's not that very far. You can literally say like the barest signs of an old road, like there's a right away that should have been there, but the trees have grown and the grass has covered most of it. Almost, and this part will be parallel to the road that you're in, which is clearly demarcated by the milestone. And then you find another, what could have been a milestone, with just a couple of rocks there. In fact, normally you wouldn't have noticed, but now that you have the point of comparison between what you saw on the road and this, it's like, oh, okay, it looks very similar. And he hands Braith one of the shovels that he has, and he gets his other shovel and he starts working on it.
Yeah, I will assist him, so I have no qualms doing this.
It takes a good half an hour to dig about 6 feet to the grave. And you're all sweaty and dirty, and
if it matters, 15 athletics for the digging.
Well, yeah. In that way, you do dig a fairly good grave. Just give me a moment. Dinner gone.
I like how he started off with, "You're not a kobold for some reason, are you?" Like he could be anything else.
I think it's the fact that kobolds are so rare. I think.
Yeah, if my wisdom was lower, I would have made a fuss out of it. But
yeah, no, I just thought it was funny wording.
I mean, they're not really all that rare. There's
Not
a whole
anymore
village
around
of
here.
them surrounding, yeah. Well, there's a whole village of them.
I mean, I meant like rare, as in like on the road riding a spider, and not like attacking people.
Yeah, seeing a kobold roll up on a spider might be a sign to run.
You know, I don't even think that's rare. 'Cause remember, the village of kobolds was around a tree that was filled with spiders.
That's true.
And you gotta look out for those spider drive-bys.
Well, the spiders
Crazy.
did kill most of them. Well, they
You're-
mostly killed most of the party.
You definitely don't want to drive by webbing.
So yes, for the record, chicken.
I like chicken. I had chicken earlier for
Yeah.
dinner.
Tastes
No,
like chicken.
it's a running joke of me eating on the channel while I'm. Right. So
I got chips, so eat freely.
so you bury. He arranges the bones in such a way that they resemble a human being, right? Puts them carefully in the bottom. Puts a holy symbol of Harligan, again another wooden disc, in the sort of chest area underneath the skull. Says a couple of prayers. You know, you help him out to climb out of the hole. You know?
Of course.
Oh, yes. Well, that's that's the thing that happened.
What
I'd like to thank you
not
for your
it,
time.
it is not a problem, Duncan. If you need any other assistance, please do not hesitate to ask. Before
Oh, no, I'll take care of the rest. Poor Patty here. Now he has a final resting place now.
I share the same sentiment, simply Duncan.
Well,
So-
if I may inquire, what occurred that led to your friend's demise?
The old age. People live, people die.
I kind of go silent for a minute, and I say, "True, that is something we will all face eventually."
Mm-hmm. Well, he grabs a. He has a. He's. I'm sorry, I'm hungry, so I'm going to grab something to eat. Well, technically speaking, I mean, death is just another journey. Now he's walking the path of the eternal path of the of Farligan, going across the plains, seeing new horizons. Perhaps, walking along the side of the astral sea, or spearing at the deep pits of hell and laughing as the demons try to catch his swift-footed retreat. Perhaps one day I will do these things as well. No, less demons,
have heard.
more astral seas, hopefully.
I have
that-
heard that you can live forever if you leave a legacy.
Well,
And
he
then
left him good
dramatically look up
friends.
to the sky.
You look upon Celestians for Farligan's brother. He also watches over us from a distant, cold vault of heaven. Well, sometimes he's known to drop gifts on those who need it.
Real quick, just I guess this would be another religion check. What is the relationship Farligan has with Cord? Would I know that?
Make a check.
Oh my goodness. I don't know anything. It's 6.
Yeah. Today you're too tired, basically.
It's after digging that grave. I'm still my mind is a little racy. I will simply then nod and I say it sounds like a very worthy gift for the afterlife. For those of Farligan's flock.
Oh yeah. All travelers belong to Farligan's flock. And you, my friends, look as you have traveled far, especially you, Sir Kobold. Travel far from Warren and home, I see.
Yes.
Let it be those.
Yeah, it wasn't a choice.
But
It's
the most
okay, though.
interesting,
It's been
the
fun.
most interesting journeys usually start as happenstance. Only when we look back at them do we realize that we were meant to go to a far horizon and discover new lands and new places. At the time, it may seem like you were being expelled from your home and hearth, but all young hearts must travel forth and discover new things. Travel west, or east, or north, or south. Although traveling south these days is a bit difficult considering there's a lot of nastiness down there. But I've always found that there's always good friends along the way as well, as you were. You two, I never expected this kind of company, and yet you have helped me. Farligan provides.
You show great wisdom, Duncan.
No, it's the old age, really. I'm not gonna lie and say that I'm a wise man, only a living one.
I
That's what I'm
think
not.
you're wise because you say that you're not wise. I always like the people who claim to not know a lot.
Hmm. But if I were then to claim that I was wise, would that then not be true then? Would I be saying something that, if I have to say it, isn't true? Words to
Possibly,
put.
but
Thought to.
being aware of your level of wisdom means you may stop looking for wisdom as well.
Hmm. Hmm.
At least I think so.
He goes from to
Braith is also taken aback by that.
Well, I have taken way too much of your time. I should be traveling southeast, I believe, to Norwell. Oh, a good, nice rest. And you were traveling in the opposite direction, I take it.
Yes. I will say, when you do get to Norwell,
Mhm.
there is a inn and tavern. Trying to remember the name of the place.
The tavern, the brewery is the gateway. The inn is a Swifttail.
The tavern is the gateway, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where Luke works, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I will say there is a tavern known as the Gateway in Narwell. When you go there, the owner, a man by the name of Luke Davenport, please tell him that Braith sent you and that you are a you are a guest of his.
Oh.
He will. I'm sure he would be interested to hear some stories of your travels.
Sure he would. Thank you again, good friend. Thank Alona, thank Cord, and thank their servants for this service that you have done today. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I give him a bow and I say farewell. Be safe.
As you leave, the funny thing is, as you leave, this was a halfway mark. You expected a couple of hours of travel, but it only feels like a couple of minutes.
Huh.
You don't notice
Hmm.
anything in particular different, like you don't see the terrain changing around you or the day going shorter or longer. It's just you take a couple of steps and maybe a couple of steps more, and next thing you know, you look back and there's no mile market. It's just a road, and you start seeing farms, and eventually you get to the estate, and you would think, oh yes, we should be here by the afternoon. It's only midday. Almost as if you shave like an hour or so.
Interesting.
As part of that hour, when we're a clear distance away, it'll just be is it common for humans to have first names such as Simply?
No, it is not, Master Hugh. But humans are very interesting sometimes, and I smile to him. Perhaps it is a nickname.
I was confused because he said that he was Simply Duncan, and Duncan's usually a first name.
It could be just a nickname, or I think he was also just correcting me for calling him Master Duncan.
Okay. Oh God, I felt awkward the whole time.
I don't think it matters. It's okay.
Okay.
Did you see the manor house? There seems to be some servants working outside the Sadrian Manor House. A gardener, maybe someone else is tending to the horses. Do you announce yourselves?
Oh yeah, I have no reason not to announce myself. I would ask if we could see. Oh, what the heck is his name again?
Adrian.
Yeah, thank you. If we could see Master Adrian.
All right. Oh yeah. And I call the Domo. He wants to see the master, and some other servant goes and fetches him at the major domo, and he comes in. Oh yes. What can I do for you, sir?
Masters Adrian. This is the Major Domo or Masters Adrian?
Here you go.
Okay. Major Domo. I don't know if I assume we have not met before. My name is Braith Rumar, member of the Headhunters. I am here with my companion, Master Hugh. And I show point to Webford and Hugh. And we are here to see if we can get an audience with Lord Masters Adrian regarding possibly enlisting his services for enchanting an item.
Indeed. I'm afraid, and he sort of tugs at his shirt a little bit. I'm afraid that the beast of burden, which Master Hugh is riding, will have to stay outside. And I'm afraid we cannot grant it the benefit of the stables, as it would make the horses nervous. But otherwise, yes.
Yeah, that's fine. Is there a forest nearby?
Well, he looks at there's trees nearby. The tree lines are like, yes, I suppose. So there is.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. 1 second. Webford, I gotta go talk to someone. Apparently he has this RK, whatever, the fear of spiders thingy. So if you want to go chill in that tree and try not to eat anything too big, I'll come and get you when we're done.
Webford doesn't nod,
and he'll just go up.
No.
I was waiting to hear your spider voice. Would it be like
I'm not doing Charlotte's Web, and I'm certainly not doing the what's her name from not the Hobbit, but
Shelob?
Shelob, yeah.
I was thinking just like a something like that.
And so, yeah, after a while, Master Shadian shows up, an elderly gentleman. Oh yes, this is most unexpected. Master Brave, I didn't expect it. Come in. We tied it up. Well, I didn't, of course. That's what the servants are for. And tied it up a bit. Everything should be fine. A tea, perhaps?
Do you have chamomile?
I believe we do, sir. Yes.
Oh, perfect.
I have never had this chamomile. I will try some.
No. That's wonderful.
May I introduce Master Hugh? He is another member of our headhunters.
I see.
Human are confusing me today.
You keep very interesting company. I've never had a kobold in my home before. Always the first.
It is the Headhunters is a very unique outfit, I will say.
Right. Well, coming in. And you see that the house is not in the way you kept it. It's been cleaned. Everything seems to be in the right place. There's no jumping from one room to the other to another dimension. You don't see any of the writing. Well, you needed to shift and use magic to see the writing, so you wouldn't have seen it. But
oh, good. And the dead bodies were removed?
Yes. Oh, very much so. And you offered lunch, late lunch, early dinner, and tea. It says, "Well, what is this nature of what is it that you request from me, sir?"
We have come across a very strange metal that came from a meteorite.
Really?
Yes, perhaps you recall a few days back a massive crash in a meteorite streaking through the sky. I don't know if you saw it.
No, I heard something, but by the time I woke out of bed, it was gone.
Yes, our party happened to come across it, and we fought this terrible creature. Seemed to be made out of the rock itself. The creature has been destroyed, but it left behind this ore, which we've identified as some sort of star metal.
He's fairly intelligent and also a known alchemist and wizard. Let's see if he knows what you're talking about. He does. Star medal, you say?
Yes.
Interesting. And where is the star medal now?
There is a gnome as well as the dwarves of Narwell. They are currently working on shaping the star medal into an axe for myself and a piece of armor for Master Kix.
I see. And you require my services to improve upon this.
Yes, that was what we were hoping to request you to do. I will admit, I do not have much in the way of gold. I only have about 200 pieces on me.
No, 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 no. I will not accept your gold, sir. You saved my life. Saved my estate, my servants. What would have happened if that what happened had continued to happen? I do not know, and I wish not to find out. Yes, and so of course I will. It would take me some time to gather the writings and the like, perhaps a day or so, and I could join you in Norwell. Yes. So, and besides, it does not take a great opportunity to work with such exotic material. Of course, I will do so.
Then I appreciate your generosity. I apologize for the dog in the background as well. I appreciate your generosity, Masters Adrian. I do not know when the pieces will be needed for your enchantment and for your work, but if you wish to come back with us to Narwell, we would be more than happy to show you the progress of it with the others and their work.
Well, he said that basically it will take him like a day or so to do the kind of basic research, bring books and stuff like that, and then he will join you there. I mean, his daughter lives in town, so he can stay there, no problem.
Okay. And so I guess we hash out those details, basically.
Yeah. Now, here comes the question, the mechanical question, the meta question. You can have a +1 weapon with an added quality. Being star metal, basically it would be some kind of elemental damage.
Electricity.
Electricity?
Oh yeah, I always go electricity. That's my favorite.
Okay.
And that to me that seems to fit best with Cord. I don't know why. Unless if he's more of a fire guy, I'm not really too familiar with how Cord works.
Are you saying that he prefers an electrical cord?
I actually didn't make that connection, but yes, we'll go with that.
Well, that's what you gotta do with electrical cords, make connections.
This ones are gonna keep rolling, huh?
He really sees the power in Cord.
Yep. It will be electrifying. Anyway,
well, he's got a great capacity for love.
But yeah, that's
You're a little tangled about Cord here.
We're gonna go this for hours.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah.
But that would be the electricity would be my go-to, unless if you think it would not be appropriate for Cord.
No, it'll be fine.
Okay, so then that would be the go-to.
Okay. Essentially, it will be a +1 axe with an added 1d6 electrical damage.
Sounds good.
So yeah,
I gotta give it a name now or something like that. We gotta call it a special name. I gotta think about that.
Shock action?
No. It has to be something stronger. Maybe
Mullen gear.
No. I something related to Cord, maybe.
Maybe you could break stones with it.
Cord is like a mixture of Thor and Hercules, so
the thunder then makes sense.
The thunder down under.
I'll think about it.
I love that guy.
I'll think about it and mull it over. I do have to check on the dogs though. Excuse me.
Okay. So
the storm's fury.
We go to our bard. You have found yourself in the Gateway because it's a local brewery and tavern. a good place to make money. If you're doing downtime, you can actually do the thing where you gain, you roll performance and gain extra coin if you wish. And you're also gathering information about your foreign master. So this is going to be taking the entire night. Roll an investigation. I believe that's investigation. That's a good roll.
Wow.
How
That's
would you?
a pretty good roll.
Yeah. How would you describe your master? Is he human? Is he another race or culture?
So he's from the same place as I am, roughly.
Yeah.
He's 5'7", brown hair, human, pretty popular, very outgoing kind of guy. He's probably middle-aged at this point, so he's
Mhm.
like 40s-ish.
Yeah.
And I guess like out of character, right now he's not here or to the west. He's somewhere else.
Yeah, he's not here.
Yeah.
When you start asking questions and engaging with different people and you have and a lot of people are excited to have someone from the Baklunish lands, which is sort of the Arabic Muslim equivalent. Literally, their chief deity, who's a demigod, is called Al Akbar. So yeah, a little bit on the nose, I know, but still. And a few people in town do remember someone like him passing through here. They also remember that he was asking for a place called Citadel. Supposedly a town or city of Suel origins that is in this region. You know of the Suel.
How do you spell
that? Suel is Suel. Citadel is with a Z or Z. It's like Citadel, but instead of a C as and that's actually the modern common translation of the Suel term. Make a history check on that term. You heard some rumors. In fact, you heard from him, your master, that he was looking for this place. You do know, and this is common knowledge, that in the twin cataclysms, the Baklunish Empire and the Suel Empire basically annihilated each other. And the Suel moved east, the Baklunish moved north, and sort of reestablished a couple of kingdoms in the northwest. Where the Suel eventually moved all the way to what's now called the Scarlet Brotherhood. In fact, reemerged many centuries later, and then they were involved in the relatively recent unpleasantness of the Greyhawk Wars, as basically supremacists, right? And as such, but along the way, because there were waves of immigration, the Suel were known, both the Baklunish, the ancient Baklunish, and the Suel were known for being extremely powerful spellcasters and using variative magic. The Baklunish are still known for using elemental magic, and the Suel were known to use other types of magic, including a lot of summoning and dimensional magic. And perhaps this Citadel of the Suel, if it is such a thing, but Citadel could be anything. It could be a fortress, it could be a city, it could be, you have no idea. Could have, ancient secrets and the like. But nobody knows where it is. And your master mentioned it in the past. And apparently he feels he asked around the town. He went to different people, etc., and always looking for information from this place. What information he gleaned, you're not really sure. People mostly respond that he was asking, and most people didn't know. But they leave you with the impression that he felt that he was in this area. Now he's no longer in town, and he didn't say in which direction he left. He could have gone north to Greyhawk, which has great libraries and universities and the like. He could have gone somewhere else. He could have gone directly. If he actually found a clue, he could have gone searching for it. No idea. But you're left with the impression that he believed that it was in the region, not in the area, in the region. So close, perhaps, but
Okay.
So he definitely was here, perhaps 6
Sick.
months ago, at the
Alright.
most.
Yeah, that's great. I'll also do some performances myself.
Mhm. Go ahead, roll.
Okay, that's a pretty good performance.
Yeah.
I've also just used all of my luck for the rest of the next 7 years.
Yeah. Essentially, tonight and for the next week or so, you won't have to pay for. You perform so well that you get free drink, free food. You don't have to waste any money. Everybody, you're the new hotness here in Narwhal. You're the newest music sensation performer. Everybody wants to see you. Everybody wants to be your best friend.
Alright, cool.
At least among the populace, right?
Yeah.
So that's unless you want to do something else.
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Other than maybe assist my compatriots with anything they may need.
Cool. Oh. Done with dinner. So our fellows return with later that day, and then the day after that, Sagian, this sage and great alchemist, comes with, and he has a bunch of scrolls and books, and he has a couple of servants. I mean, he even brings a donkey which has like saddlebags and the likes, so bringing much stuff. Like, yes. Well, let's get to work. Where is this wonderful metal thing? I believe. Yes, Kix. And he points at Kix. It's like, do you know where this metal is?
Oh, you want to ask Zigzag over there. And then he slowly starts like at head height and then slowly points downwards until he reaches Zigzag.
And he moves over. It's like, Master Gnome, nice to meet you. I know that your people are well known for crafting, mostly in jewels alike, but I take it that your expertise are in some other area, correct?
Just a quick point of fact. Ziggs or Zag, it's his first name, last name. I don't call everyone by their whole names all the time.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just saying. That was just a mock. The second point is actually a point. Zigzag actually stands at dwarf height because the armor makes him taller. Because it's rather large armor. It's like, imagine if a baby was standing in plate mail, like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I am like in armor that's way too big for me, but I've made it work. So way too big, still dwarven height. Someone who's like 4 to 5 feet tall, who's only 3 feet tall in 4 to 5 foot tall armor.
Big 70s.
But yeah, pointedly, I'm taller than I should be.
Yes.
Or it's dwarven armor and tiny little head.
Mr. Sig, then I apologize. My gnomish is. I haven't practiced it in years.
Well, that would be Mr. Zag, actually.
Oh, of course.
You don't address somebody by their first name with the honorific in front.
So where is this metal, the fabulous metal? And you see, what's her name? That would be Fidea.
Yeah, Firebeard, right?
Yeah, Fidea Firebeard. She was like, now, lad, what is it that you're here doing here? Huh? What? And he points. Everybody's there who is, except for Hugh, I suppose, and it's Kix, Sig, and Bray. What is it about? About him?
I mean, I'm also not done working on it if they've only been gone a couple of days.
Oh, he has to be part of the process. He has to come in and do part of the process. There's too much people in here now. If you're not working, I get out. It's like, oh no, my dear lady, I've been here to investigate this wonderful metal that was brought forward. It's like, right. All right. She turns around and kind of gives a glance over her shoulder, like, and he looks at Sig. It's like, I hope you know what you're doing. And she goes back to
almost insulting.
Yeah. More like, why is this human doing here who has never seen working in the force before? She trusts you. I mean, you know the fire. They know you by reputation, and in fact, you came here because of the Firebeards. That was your connection. So you're kind of part of the family almost. And she is, but she's less happy with the fact they have a wizard in her forge. So they start to work. He has a bunch of scrolls and stuff like that. You see, some of the stuff is erroneous. Like the calculations are very broad. Some of them are very esoteric, have little or nothing to do with what he wants to do. Some of them are closer to this, right? He is smart enough to know and to listen to your advice, not to screw it up, right? When you correct them, right? But overall, a lot of the stuff, he just basically grabbed whatever he had at hand and that could mildly be useful in some way, right?
You'll figure the wizard I don't respect is doing stuff that I don't respect. Sorry, out of character, the person I don't respect the wizard, Zigzag has no opinion. To me, the player, he's the traveler from that one Star Trek episode, the guy who travels with the traveler.
Yeah.
The guy who knows nothing but thinks he's doing everything.
Wasn't that Lieutenant Ensign Crusher?
No, before that. When he first shows up, he shows up with a Starfleet engineer who thinks that he's doing everything.
Okay. Yeah. Well, he only was in 2 episodes, right? The one where Beverly Crusher gets trapped in the bubble, and then
the Traveler, I think the Traveler only has 2 episodes. The Starfleet engineer only has the 1 episode. The Starfleet engineer is the one where they travel beyond the edge of the universe.
Whatever that is.
Famously, the episode where Jean-Luc Picard sees his grandma, and that one woman gets trapped beneath between floors. Like you see her, she's like half in the deck, like ah.
Ugh. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that's the one that he's in. Like I said, I see that the wizard is more like the Starfleet engineer, and we're missing the traveler element. That's actually the smart guy.
He actually knows what the hell he's talking about. Yeah.
But overall, super lost.
That's characters of Star Trek. Okay, short term, the Traveler was an alien that had a special connection to hyperspace and subspace, and he had the knowledge to manipulate them.
Well, no, he was more that the universe is thought, right?
Oh, yeah.
The universe is thought, and his species has the ability to manipulate the universe because they understand how it really interacts. Like energy and thought are one.
Kind of like one step below Q, basically.
Oh, so he's the narrator.
Oh, I know who Q is. Okay.
Well, I mean, he's not really one step below Q. It's like he can go wherever he wants. That's why he's called the Traveler. It's like if Q could only go places and couldn't do things.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, he is as time goes by and he starts concentrating on the specific enchantment he wants to make, he becomes slightly more useful. But he's driven here more by curiosity rather than expertise, right? He wants to know what's happening and learn about it rather than being someone who has already learned it on the subject. And only his intellect saved him from appear like a complete and utter moron. But only just. I mean, Stig knows this because he knows his way. Not only the material components, but also magical applied to material components like weapons and armor. The rest of you are like, "Oh, that sounds pretty smart. Oh, yes, of course, sure. Yeah, I have no idea what he's talking about. Sure. So it will take about a week to make the weapon, correct?
Yep.
You don't have to
Well,
make
it would technically
any-
take less, but it has to mechanically. It has to take the whole week.
So at the end of the week, I don't think there's any rolls involved.
Nope.
Or are there? Nope.
Not according to what I've read, anyway. It's all just.
Are you gonna make a weapon that is embossed with lightning bolts, something like that, or it's a simple weapon that?
No,
you-
there's no. Why would I do that? That's a weapon is a thing of function, not form.
A wooden weapon, just as a humble carpenter would have had.
Yes. what axe would Jesus have made?
Um,
You've chosen poorly.